Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji. Namaskaram Swamiji.
Namaskaram, Namaskaram, Namaskaram. What is to be shared today?
Swamiji, how to see the seer and not the seen?
Repeat, auntie.
How to see the seer and
How
not
to
the
see the
seen?
seer?
How to?
See the seer. Seer. How to see the seer?
And not the seen.
Not the seen.
Who is asking this? We have to try to understand who is asking this question. No? Because the seer is the subject. Seer cannot be seen. Seer is the one who makes us to see. So, seer is the one who makes us to know. So, how can we know him? Through any external prop, like language, like thoughts. So, it is purely an experience. So, each one has to devise some method. The method chosen by various Mahatmas, they have placed before us. So we keep on trying, and whatever is okay for our temperament, we pursue, and finally something will emerge in ourselves. Because it is not an object. If it is an object, we can explore. Here it is the very subject, the one who is now making us to talk. How can we know him? How can we talk about him? He is the one who is making us to talk. He is the one who is making us to see, hear, touch, taste, smell, think.
Swamiji,
And 1 minute. So directly we cannot do this. It is absolutely out of question. So the next alternative before us is to see him in his creation. Then slowly we will also know who is seeing. This was the technique he employed in Bhagavad Gita. In Vishwarupa Darshanam, even in 10th also, he was trying to identify first which are all prominent, which are all positive, which are all standing out, and then later on behind anything and everything. So this is how we try to tutor our mind to go inward. So when somebody loves somebody, unconditionally, when somebody is compassionate, when somebody is selfless, when somebody is self-sacrifice, when somebody is an embodiment of humility and unconditional seva, he is there His presence is conspicuous there. So directly going and trying to understand the seer may be difficult for most of the people. Because it is something where we try to go inward with the help of with the power, we try to watch the thought, and then the thought leaves, then we reach the stillness of serenity, which is the seat of this seer, hearer, taster, toucher, if there is a word, smeller, if there is a word, no? The one who is behind, the power behind this. The thinker, that is one path, that is the toughest path. To prepare the toughest path, we have to prepare, because the mind will immediately go out. So we try to, in our case, we try to concentrate more and more on the mental chanting of Ram Nam. That will slowly keep us away from all other thoughts, at least during that particular moment. And then we take to mental chanting. Then we try to witness the chanting. And then we get a taste. The thought that takes us stops. Thought cannot enter that realm. Second, that is very difficult. We have to keep on practicing it, that's all. In the meantime, we also try to see him in everything. He is in the form of all these good and great. No? And when we start training our mind, that is why Papa used to say, when you are compassionate, you play the part of God. When you are self-sacrificing, you play the part of God. At that time, what happens? It is not that we learn compassion, we learn sacrifice and do that. It is spontaneous in nature. And what do we experience at that time? These are all some of the ways that have been prescribed by masters. So we keep on trying. Because this cannot be objectified. That is the toughest problem. Rest of the things we can. All materials, we know that. No? We can pursue, we can explore, we can try to do research. But this is not an object. Consciousness absolute. You can say, I am conscious of something, but consciousness, what is that? So each one has to choose. That is why devotees, they find it difficult, so they attribute to a form, to their chosen deity, and superimpose this nameless, formless on the name, and they travel in the spiritual field. In Prabhupada's case, there is another method he has suggested. It is a bhakti, devotion combined knowledge, but at the same time, devotion not centered on a particular deity, that's all. So instead of our asking who is the seer, we are trying to develop an attitude of devotion where we fully recognize that we are what we are because of that power. These words are coming because of that power. Thoughts are coming because of that power. So the power and the sense of individuality, Bhagavan and Bhakta. So the devotion is not on a particular form, but devotion is there by the sense of individuality which exists through a thought. The thought recognizes the power from which, because of which it exists. This is a safer method. The other one is a toughest method. Directly in search of a seeker. So the safer method would be to develop an attitude of surrender to a higher power who is us, and then dedicate everything, surrender everything to him. That's also tough, agreed, but relatively it is easier. Though we say surrender, we don't surrender because it takes a lot of time. The me and mine has to be completely, I won't say it will go, it will not go, but it recognizes that it exists because of a higher power. At the moment it does not recognize the higher power, so it asserts. So now, slowly it becomes aware that I exist because he is there. This question is not easy, it is valid. So that we try to pursue different paths. And depending upon our tendencies of the mind, temperament, characteristics, habituation, we can choose any method. Probably with that in view, Papa always mentioned, we always remember about Papa's words of Lord Hanumanji. Lord Rama asked him, after coming back from Sri Lanka, he has been watching how devoted he was and what an unshakable faith he had in Ramnam. So he asked him, who are you? These three words, I think we as seekers, we have to keep on bringing this. As body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am a part of you. As spirit, I am one with you. As body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am a part of you. Apart from you, I cannot exist. Body you have given to serve you. As spirit, I am one with you. So now who is asking this question? We are asking ourselves. When we know as an individual we are asking, then the answer comes, I am a part of you. So long as I maintain the sense of individuality, I am a part of you. When I transcend the body idea, which Mataji used to say as Deha Buddhi to Vishwa Buddhi. Deha Buddhi is in sense of individual, body level. Vishwa Buddhi is the cosmic level. This might enable us to get an answer for this. Seer. So as body, I am your servant. As an individual, body, mind, intellect complex, I am a part of you. As spirit, I am one with you. So these are some of the ways through which we try to become aware of his presence. Because body has got a date of birth, it has to have a date of death. It is transient. He is immortal. This is mortal. He is immortal. So that's why he said, as body, I am your servant. As an individual, body, mind, intellect complex is there. I started functioning as an individual. Feeling of individuality is there. Then I am a part of you. I cannot exist by myself. And who is the one which is in the body mind intellect complex, the spirit. As spirit, I am one with you, cosmic.
Swamiji, as a spirit, I am one with you-ன்றது எப்படி Swamiji? தமிழ்ல எப்படி சொல்றது?
For example,
I am one with you
Father,
as spirit.
Swami.
Hmm?
Terina Swami Father.
No.
An example of it.
No. She is asking how it is expressed in Tamil. It cannot be put in words. It has to end somewhere, you know.
Swamiji,
One minute, please, 1 minute. Please.
உயிருள் யாம் எம்முள் உயிர் இவை உணர்ந்து உயிரினம் பரவது என்று உரைத்த மெய் சிவமேனு உயிருள் யாம் எம்முள் உயிர் இவை உணர்ந்து உரைத்த மெய் சிவமேனு சொல்லி முன்னாங்க.
I was singing something, 1 minute.
மனம் புத்தி தேகம் அகங்காரம் எல்லாத்தையும் கடந்த நிலை என்று சொல்லலாமா சுவாமிஜி? ஸ்பிரிட்னாக்கா
அல்ல, இதில் முன்னாடி பப்பா வந்து வான் பண்ணுறாரு நம்மளை. அதையும் கூட படிச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் வரோம். We will come back. It is difficult to understand through thoughts. Initially it might help. So Papa here says, reason is a help. Reason in our inquiring into. It is surely a more reliable guide than the fickle mind. It helps us to discriminate between the real and the unreal. But it helps only up to a limit. After a stage, it becomes a hindrance. It cannot be a safe guide throughout the spiritual journey. I can show this to you. Reason is a help, no doubt, but it is surely a more reliable guide than the fickle mind. It helps us to discriminate between the real and the unreal, but it helps only up to a limit. After a stage, it becomes a hindrance. After a stage, it becomes a hindrance. It cannot be a safe guide throughout the spiritual journey. If you want to take a leap into the infinite and realize your oneness with it, you have to stop reasoning. Reason must give place to intuition.
Intuition is created by God.
We are coming to that. No, we are coming to that. He says, reason must give place to intuition. Intuition is born of a purified heart and an illumined intelligence. It is a spontaneous outflow of the divine light. This can come only after the elimination of the ego sense. So anything that comes is brief, spontaneous in nature. The me and
Mechanics depend more on reasoning than intuition.
no, it's not like no. When they try, they go up to certain limit. They use the intellect, and then it is dropped because it's a graduation. Afterwards, it gets dropped, and they become one with it. Ramana Bhagavan, for example, no. So in their case, the whole thing has stopped. In our case, because we have not reached, we are still struggling. We think that the intellect can give us an answer. For anything and everything, intellect can give us an answer. It is natural. And later on we find it, because each one's stage temperament is different. God has given that, no? So then he makes us to see that we cannot go beyond that. So the question is asked.
Does it mean that we should depend to some extent on reasoning?
Happen, yeah. Initially, yes. Otherwise, superstition, so many things come, you get halted somewhere. It helps us to a very great extent. That's why he said, reason is a help. It is surely a more reliable guide than the fickle mind. It helps us to discriminate between the real and the unreal. But it helps only up to a limit. After a stage, it becomes a hindrance. It cannot be a safe guide. It cannot be a safe guide throughout the spiritual journey. Up to some extent, it is helpful. If you want to take a leap into the infinite and realize your oneness with it, you have to stop reasoning. Otherwise, ignorance becomes bliss, We don't know what is what.
That means absolute total surrender. Absolute total surrender. Which means reasoning doesn't play any part in this means the Bhakta should surrender everything to the Lord.
No, the reasoning will help us to know that by reasoning we cannot know him because he is behind the very reasoning. So we have to know the power behind the reasoning, which we don't know. So we come back again and start looking at it. This is the struggle everybody has. Especially now.
As I understand, we are seeing the phenomenon, not the nominal behind it.
Phenomenal behind it.
Yes. Then we should.
We are only seeing the phenomenon, not the nominal behind it.
Phenomenon. Okay, that's only a concept,
Yes.
So we try to find
it is a concept.
We try to find out. It is impossible for the seeker to know the seer directly, because seeker becomes the sought after when it quits. When I stop seeking, that means I have reached. Even now, all of us have reached, but we are not aware. So that is why we say we are seekers, sadhakas. And what ultimately our masters, our scriptures, what do they say? After all, he is there behind even your seeking. That is why Swami Ramtirtha said, I remember you, O Lord, because you remembered me first. Even to remember him, we need him. If he is not there, that power is not there, we will not be able to do that. So these words will help us, not intellectually. It might help us in our experiential realm. So reason helps us to a great extent, and after that the reason cannot. Because the power behind the reasoning is what we are seeking. That reason cannot bring. The power behind the seeing cannot be seen with the eyes.
Then what is the yardstick, Swamiji, to know at what stage we are in? What is the yardstick to know
The stage we can pursue is that the me and mind gets reduced. Not only at that particular moment of question answer, throughout our life. Because we are trying to recognize him in anything and everything. I again fail, I forget. I again fail, I forget. 10%, 20%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Like that, every time I want to have in a sattvic mood, I understand that he is there, I am only Chala. Suddenly our old habits will come, somebody will come, and then we forget, we slip. Again we try, I shouldn't have done like that, I shouldn't have thought like that, I shouldn't have uttered like that. No, like that, I correct myself. So this is an ongoing struggle for a sadhaka, because we are not exclusively sitting with this. By the time you develop your mind, you go out, something comes, somebody behaves in the way in which you don't expect, immediately the whole thing gets toppled. Because you see him as an individual, not as God. So this is something on which we have to keep on praying to him. Throw us some light, please, please, please.
Mataji would say it should be hammering like this.
Hammer
like this.
In Papa's and Mataji's case, they were doing this intense sadhana for 2 years exclusively. You and I, among the various activities, we have also included. That is the difference. So every time we try something and we feel we have got something, next moment we lose it. Because we are in the midst of so many activities. So they had scaled the heights exclusively. In Papa's case, 20 to 22. In Mataji's case, 1928 to 30. They were not involved in any activities. No ashram, nothing like that. So they could get the grip of it. So from any Mahatmas, so then we try to understand that our struggle is protracting because in the midst of so many things which he has given, so we are now praying to him. You have given so many activities, you did not make me aware that you have given me the activities. I treat it as my activity, and then I also would like to remember you behind everything. But these two, I am unable to balance it. So why don't you please make me aware that you are behind everything? You are behind. Either you relieve me from the so-called labeled activities and put me on a full-time basis, or if I am not destined to that, I'll make me to see your hand in everything. Something like that we keep on praying. Ultimately, he has to decide. But he has given us a freedom to pray to him. He has made us understood that we are what we are because of him. Intellectually, that we are 100% convinced. Without this life force, without this awareness, without this intelligence, I cannot exist as an individual. That is 100% clear now, 100% clear. But to always become aware in the way in which I have defined, it is tough. So now give me how I should deal with men and matters. You make me to deal with men and matters outside. You have given me a lot of memories in my mind, a lot of impressions, tendencies, vasanas, culture, so many things you have given me. That come and go when I react to events and individuals, not you. So either you erase all those things and clear me that you are only there, then I have no problem. I am dealing with you in the form of men and matters. Like that, we keep not relying on anything outside. It is purely a dialogue between the seeker and the power behind the seeker.
So we call God the compassion, the personification of compassion. We call God personification of compassion. Why does he not take a decision to liberate everybody at once?
He has already given. We are not aware, that's all. The moment we put up this complaint, he will smilingly say, I have given you, you are not aware, what can I say? I have given you 1 lakh rupees in a cover and you have put it in your bag and on your shoulder and you say, I am a pauper.
You have given me, but you have locked the bag. That's the problem. You have given the lakh rupees, but the bag is locked.
Then you say, then he will say that you have to know that. That means you have to search yourself. You have to see the bag. Did I give it? Where did I keep? Without that, I will. If I sit, I may not know at all. There is a story of Lord Anjaneya, a great bhakta of Lord Anjaneya. When there were bullock cart period, no? So he was going with goods from one village to another village. It was a muddy road. Probably because of heavy rain, the whole road became muddy. Slush was there. So the wheel got stuck. Immediately he got down from the bullock cart and started chanting Hanuman Chalisa. After chanting Hanuman Chalisa with all faith and devotion, he came. Still it is not moving. Again he went, chanted another, this time with a little more devotion. Again he went. Nothing happens. Then he cried, I am your devotee, no? For no fault of mine it got stuck. I am asking you for your help and you are keeping quiet. This is not fair. So Lord Anjaneya told him, if everybody, when they get into the problem, they sit quiet and ask for me, where will I, to whom all I should go then? Achha, when you chant with your faith that I will do it, you must also do your effort. Oh, suddenly he... So he chanted the Hanuman Chalisa and felt that Hanumanji is with me. Then manually he tried to take out the wheel like this. It started moving. So self-effort and prayer. For all other things we need self-effort, you know. So this also we need. So long as we feel we are an individual, self-effort, and so if I have to see the 1 lakh I must search. He will not say it is there, you take it. No, I have to search. There is a conditioning called the bag and he has kept it there so that I should not suffer from my rainy days. He has kept everything ready and I have forgotten the whole thing. I say I don't have a pie to live. Then he keeps on saying, I am there, I have given you. But I am still crying. But the moment I start, in the back something is weighty is there. Then I look and I own. So self-effort plays an important role. You might, I don't know whether you attended the Sannyas centenary. At that time we brought out an anecdote, a particular shloka in Vivek Chudamani. Aptoktim Khananam. Khananam. This is beautifully brought out there. It was made known to us through an example. Two families are staying together. Next neighbors. They are very close. These children will go and play and eat. That children will come and there is no difference between them. One morning, the head of the family suddenly passed away. So everybody, this man also rushed up there, extended all the help, and on the 13th day everything was over. 14th day, the eldest son and his brother, they came and told, Uncle, from tomorrow onwards we don't know how will we live, because we don't know what our father has left for us. We have nothing to fall back upon. We are highly stressed. Then the other neighbor said, your father has done everything for you. For generations together he has kept it. But you have to own it. Go to the kitchen, there will be a loose tile, remove that loose tile. And preferably early in the morning or midnight, Nobody should know this. Take all your tools, start digging. There will be debris, don't throw it out. Keep it so that it's not a hindrance to anybody. But be patient and persevering. 1 day, 2 days, you will not get it. You keep on doing it, removing it, doing it, removing it. And one day, your crowbar will definitely touch a metal and it will get the metal sound. And then you remove, slowly bring it, clear it. And then you will find a copper pot with the needed treasure. But you have to do it by yourself. From the floor level, suppose you say, come on, come on, come on, it will not come. It's a beautiful slogan, where the Shishyas, Vivek Chudamani is a question answer. So this particular one we never forget. Aptoktim khananam tatho parishila tyutkarshanam sigridim nikshepa samkshepate nahibagi shabdaistu nirgachati. Just because you say that, you will not get it. You have to do your effort. So khananam means mining. Dive deep, and then. So this is the reasoning, then paving the way for the intuition to come out. Otherwise it will be ignorance. This is the one line. Another line is, we don't struggle. We are 100% confident that it is there. And we are not aware of it. So we are pleading, appealing, crying to him. Make us aware, please. That's all. There is no question of intellectual arguments. That means you basically accept that he is there within you, but you are not aware of it. So here, that is why Papa says, while chanting, you bring this dimension. You are chanting the name of one who is within you, who is making you to chant. These are some of the ways. All those came because how to see the seer. So seer cannot be seen directly because the seeing process is initiated by the seer.
Even during the concentrated Ramnam Samiti, discerning thoughts
Come.
flashing.
So that is why he says, you should hear your own chanting. You are hearing the chanting, you will not hear when the mind goes out. So you become aware that you are not hearing. Immediately open your eyes, restart. There is no shortcut. I sit there, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. I try to hear, concentration is developing up. Suddenly this mobile sound comes. Immediately I'm thinking about mobile, Duli, our Google Baba. From there, how he has helped me in Satsang. Then from there to Ramana building, so many contacts, this and that. I am sitting with Ram now. Oh, suddenly I realize. Again, I open, I start. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. There is no shortcut. Whenever I fail, I try to get back. Whenever I fail, I try to get back. Whenever I fail, I try to get back. And by this perseverance and patience, we have been assured by Mahatmas that one day we will get the balance. That means the hearing will go on uninterruptedly.
There is the question, sir, when does that one day comes?
Depends upon our urgency. No. You are right. This crying should come. When are you going to give me this? I have been doing this for years, for decades. Still the mind is going out. Mind is not getting concentrated on you. And we are moving towards, the evenings of our life or night of our life. Before the body is taken, why don't you please make me aware? These are all some of the thoughts that are welling up in the minds of devotees. But Papa says that intensity will come when we start approaching like this, not lukewarm. We hear a death. Yesterday, 3 days back, one devotee in Calicut, he was suffering from cancer, and on 9th, he looked to be little worried, though he has got implicit faith in Ramnam. He was chanting Ramnam. So his wife went and told him, "You don't worry about me. Have a peaceful journey. Death. I will be with my son as long as he wants me to stay." Then he looked, he smiled, he left the body. She had written this today. And he had a wonderful end. And Ramnam was there. So his sadhana, he knew that little troubling is there, it's all right. But when he knew that God is answering through his wife again, am I leaving her alone? God is there within me and her. No? That at that particular moment, he wants my wife to come and say that. That's all.
Is there any premonition for people also are going to die? And
At times it happens. At times. Now, nobody can say this is like that, this is like this. When Puja Swamiji was discharged from hospital, because the nephrologist said we cannot give any more dialysis, it has failed. So we got him here, and when we were coming out, very near to that hospital, here itself, one building, somebody came and told me that he would like to see you. I said, after leaving, he is in a critical stage. I said, after leaving Swamiji in the ashram, I will come back here. Somehow, when Swamiji was kept, then immediately we started. At that time, somebody has given us a pillow. The person who brought out our Ramnam chanting box, he has kept it under side. So the moment you put this thing, Ramnam will start hearing. You will hear that. So the 2 pillows were also given to us. 1 pillow we took and went there. And when we went there, the person who is supposed to be critically ill, he came out and received us. We were stunned. We went inside. We gave him this pillow. It might be of use to you whenever you feel like you. He used to come here regularly for flower offering. So he is well tuned to Ramnam. So you can do that. Then he said, I have told my wife and children, this is a terminal disease. At any time, body may get dropped. Made all Vyavaharik level, whatever he has prompted me to do, I have done it. So they don't have to worry also. But still, at times they become upset, that's all. I said, don't worry, God has blessed you with this presence of mind, So hold on to that. That is the only thing we have to say. We came back. On that night, at about 10 o'clock or 11:30, he went to the bathroom. He called his wife. I'm going, pass. There are many such instances. So that also he gives at that time. The sense of individuality before it gets dropped. Its Vyavaharik duties, it performs well and then goes. And we can't say, this is not uniformal. We have heard in many cases, we have not heard in many cases. And our job now is, whether you do it, make me to remember you. That is why Papa used to say, constant remembrance, constant remembrance, constant remembrance. Somehow you bless me with that constant remembrance. Even when I am not remembering the way in which I have to remember, you somehow make me to feel that I remember you. Normally when we say remember, you remember an object, remember a knowledge, remember a memory, something like that. Something will be there other than me, that is what I remember. So here the problem is, he is not an object. So what does this word mean, remembrance? So we devise a new meaning for it, each one. So remembrance means not remembrance of something. Remembrance of the power which make me to feel. That is why Papa soft-quoted words. We used to share with them when we were taking down dictation from Puja Swamiji. He will always say this. So our abbreviation is, we don't know shorthand. So in longhand only we have to take HCR. That will be there always. His constant remembrance. HCR. So we only now pray. You somehow make me. You may make me to do chanting. You may make me to do temple visit. You may make me to chant so many slogas. You may make me to do so many rituals. You may make me to function as a family man, as a professional man, as a retired man, as a social man, as an individual, as a sadhaka. But make me ultimately it should zero to remembering you, that you are there and I am only a part of you. So this clarity should come to us. That is why we say always remember this dialogue between Hanumanji and Lord Rama. As body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am part of you. As spirit, I am one with you. So coming back to the questionnaire, reason is a help, no doubt. It is surely a more reliable guide than the fickle mind. It helps us to discriminate between the real and the unreal, but it helps up only to a limit. After a stage, it becomes a hindrance. Doubting Thomas, always posing some doubts. It cannot be a safe guide throughout the spiritual journey. If you want to take a leap into the infinite and realize your oneness with it, you have to stop reasoning. Reason must give place to intuition. Intuition is born of a purified heart and an illumined intelligence. It is a spontaneous outflow of divine light. This can come only after the elimination of the ego sense. So long as intuition has not dawned in you, you have to be guided by reason. But reason is liable to go wrong, for when reason works, the ego sense is present. But when intuition is working, ego sense is absent. So intuition guides you unerringly. Intuition is the voice of God within you. It is very hard for others to know whether, in a particular case, it is reason or intuition that is working in a person. It is a matter of inner experience of that person. Others cannot know it, but it is possible to a certain extent to find it out from what the person does or says. Perfect unselfishness is the mark of intuition. The intellect often works as an instrument of the ego, but it is difficult to know. The intellect does not work by itself. It is acted only by the self or Atman. The intellect can grasp external things, but it cannot turn back and grasp its own divine source. With a pair of tongs, you can hold material objects, but the tongs cannot catch the hands which hold it. Similarly, the intellect cannot grasp God or self, the higher power behind it. The best use of the intellect is to help us know its own limitation. Merely reading books on Vedanta and getting intellectually equipped with the ideas relating to the highest attainment cannot make one a true Vedantin. Learning is both a help and a hindrance. It is a hindrance if it feeds one's ego sense and makes you pose as a person who has realized the truth. God realization means experience of God. For this, humility is essential. Too much learning makes one proud. One must bend one's head to Him, realizing the limitation of reason. It can take you only to the gate, and it has to be left behind when you enter the realm of the spirit. You have to unlearn what you have learned and become as simple and guileless as a child. Modern philosophy begins with doubts about God and His existence. The ancient wisdom began with certitude. Westerners do not think with a purified intellect, so they are full of doubts. Their philosophy turns round in circles without getting anywhere. They take dry intellectualism to be a sign of strength and compassion in the heart to be a weakness. No amount of argument can make you understand the truth. Direct perception and experience alone can grant you the vision of the truth. This has been culled out from various and then brought out in Thus Speaks Ramdas under the head Reason and Intuition. So whenever he makes us to take the intuition as a tool, suppose when we find the blind, we cannot go beyond. Words of Papa definitely throw light. Then you plead, please and help me. I have exhausted. In fact, if you all remember the first page of the first book, first page of the first chapter of the first book of Papa, In Quest of God, you will find he cried. No? Papa had read lot of books. Up to his 36th year. Or 38th year, 36th year, okay, 36th. He was not having anything at all about spirituality. At least it was not expressed. He was reading other books. He was contemplating on other things. This has not come to him at all. But when he was subjected to go through successive failures, trying moments, testing moments, and when he knew that he cannot do anything before, he said, what is his word? Anybody remembers? Sorry. That's the first book, you know.
Rest, where is rest?
Where is rest? Where is peace? That was the cry of Ramdas. And the cry was heard. That stage should come, you know. That means the intellect pleads its inability to move forward. The first word is first page of the first chapter of the first book. You know? For nearly a year, this is the first sentence. Ramdas struggled on in a world full of chaos, anxieties and pains. It was a period of terrible stress and restlessness, all of his own making, that he later on adds. In this utterly helpless condition full of misery, where is relief, where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. The cry was heard. And from the great void came the voice, despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. So he gives us some indication now. It is not opening up in spite of our struggle. That means the intensity is not there. In his case, the intensity was there through outer circumstances. Failure of...
Papa has to close our nose and put us in water.
But when he puts us in water, we will blame him, that's all. I am a devotee, why did you push me in? Anyway, this dialogue is very good. When we pursue it, not leave it only for the sake of satsang session, but suppose we pursue this dialogue, and I don't think none of us can pray like Kundi Devi, give me sufferings, so that I will remember you. We want him, at the same time we don't want any suffering. That is the plain truth. I don't want to suffer, but I want you. So without suffering, you should give me. The moment you give me suffering, my attention is turned toward the suffering. I forget about you. Suppose you give me some bodily pain, my attention is shifted on bodily pain. I will not say that I will only complain that you are indifferent towards me. So that is what our prayer. We want everything and we also want him, that's all. Suffering we don't want. But whereas, when suffering comes, when we go through the biographies of masters, we find when the suffering comes, We have to turn it towards this. This is what Papa did. This is what Mataji did. So instead of blaming, I will take it that suffering, it is slowly paving the way for becoming aware of his presence. He is giving me an opportunity to intensely pray. I should know that I have exhausted all my so-called individual resources and I have nothing to fall back upon. So let us think about all these things and try to get the answer to know how to see the seer. The question was raised from that. We may not get a direct answer, but we do get answers for that question. That is why he has prompted somebody to raise that question. The question is not invalid, it is valid. And then through that question, he tries to explore various methods to get an answer. We may not get a direct answer, but we have been promised that we will get an answer. So we pray to him who is within us, who is making us to go through all these thoughts, to give us the final answer, that he has been with me, he is with me. I am not asking anything more. Every day in the bhajan hall we pray this, You are he is adorable presence. You are within and without, above and below and all around. You are interpenetrating the very cells of my being. You are the eye of the eyes, ear of our ears, my heart of our hearts, mind of our minds, breath of our breaths, life of our lives, soul of our souls. Bless us, dear God, to make us aware of your presence now and here. That one prayer is enough. Seeing, hearing, the heart beating, so many things, which we are experiencing. Adorable presence. We are addressing them. We are addressing to that power. Adorable presence, those who are within and without, above and below and all around. And you are interpenetrating the very cells of my being and all these functionings. Bless us, dear God, to make us aware of your presence now and here. So let us intensify our prayer on those bases. You are there, agreed. But why don't you make me aware that you have been with me and you are with me now? Even this very question is asked because you are there. You wanted to have a fun through me. Okay, it's all right. But I must know that you are there. I have understood intellectually. I have not experienced your presence. I must experience your presence. Like that, a free and frank dialogue with him. Absolutely free and frank, in our own language. Need not necessarily be in this language. In our own language, in our own tune. And we place before it. And we have been assured by Papa. In the Divine Master, he has given us this assurance. When everybody asked that Papa should take us, he said, yes, Papa is prepared to take, provided you make one step. Rest of the things Papa will do. Here Papa meant, not outside, the indwelling reality. Okay, so many positive vibrations he has created by today's satsang. Let us try to dwell on it, let us not leave it. Because the mind has got a tendency to forget about it. So keep on, just like a blowpipe, we used to keep the firewood alive, aflame, we used to this blowpipe. Similarly, let us keep it up, whatever that has been now made known to us, let it become a part of our thinking process, so that an effort to remember him constantly takes deep root in us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram 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 Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Om Swamiji.
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. Hari Om. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. Hari, hari, hari.